David has been named a suspect in the murder investigation. Police revealed that Celeste was taken to Santa Barbara sometime in spring of this year, and that is when she died. Prosecutors also revealed that David is not cooperating with authorities. So, let's get into it.
Now to some breaking news. Singer David now considered a suspect in the death investigation of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. A source with knowledge of the investigation telling Eyewitness News the 14-year-old was found dead on September 8th in the trunk of a Tesla registered to the singer.
It has been over 2 months since that date, September 8th, when Celeste's body was found in David's Tesla, and police are finally naming him a suspect. Now, the medical examiner has not figured out exactly how Celeste has died, but it seems like the police are okay with that. Like we've been saying for weeks now, why hasn't the police arrested him or at least named him a suspect? And maybe it's because they wanted to gather more evidence before they made that step. And I'm sure the autopsy report would have been helpful, but they've got at least enough to go and pursue this, which means that charges will be coming soon. Celeste's family was aware of David. They knew that he had a relationship with her, and her brother also was aware. He claims that she was headed on this date when she disappeared.
Family members who still live in Lake Elsinore were aware that Celeste knew David and said when his sister disappeared, she was on her way to see a movie with David but never returned. We are finally inching closer and closer to David being arrested and Celeste getting justice.
I'm not going to judge the family right now. I don't know if they were aware of David's age. I mean, he was at least driving and she would have been like 13 years old. So I would assume they would be worried, probably why they reported her as a missing person.
No social media, no digital footprint. I'm just gone. I'm just gone.
Now let's get into some of the details because it seems like police know when Celeste died. They believe that her death occurred in the spring and that David likely had help in dismembering and disposing of the body, or at least maybe parts of the body. Police told NBC4 that Celeste's death occurred around then, and I don't know when he dismembered it. I would assume like shortly after the crime had occurred. I did find some sources note that there was a strange trip that David took in spring to Santa Barbara, a really nice area in California, and he stayed there for several hours. And it looks like it was a late night trip. Now, I don't know why investigators are bringing up this Santa Barbara trip, but I am curious. So what happened in Santa Barbara? Did something happen between Celeste and David, and he planned this trip out there for all of them with this mindset, this intention to go and unalive her? And if that's the case, whoever was there and helped him do this was also probably in on the plan.
Adding Rivas' death likely occurred in the spring, and that the singer likely had help in dismembering and disposing of the body. Law enforcement sources have said the remains were not intact, and according to the medical examiner, it appeared the girl, who was described as having wavy black hair and weighing about 71 pounds, had been dead inside the Tesla for an extended period of time. The singer David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, rose to fame on TikTok and was on tour when the body was found this summer.
There are some mixed reactions online because people are confused as to how now he's being named a suspect. Like, didn't we solve this 2 months ago? People are questioning just now. I mean, why did he have this much time to go and I guess, I don't know, maybe figure out his plan for how he's going to explain this away? I'm sorry, I cannot tell you where this came from. I cannot remember. I just put it into one of the files I have on my laptop, one of many. But they list the date as when David meets Celeste back in late 2021. Then we've got, Celeste's 12th birthday in 2022. On September 7th, 2023, Celeste's birthday, it looks like he releases the song Birthday Suicide. I can't even say that word. December 23rd of that same year, David releases a song, Celeste. On January 11th, 2024, David goes live with Celeste.
Trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Really good.
Okay,
it's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my. Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything goes. Everything.
On July 7th, 2024, David announces a pregnancy on Discord. No more messages from Celeste past that point. Maybe she was forced into hiding because of the pregnancy. Sometime in February 2025, Celeste reposts a TikTok on her page that says, "When your man turns into your baby daddy." Then sometime March 2025, the day Celeste previously said the baby was due, so she would have been due with the kid at that point. April 2025, Celeste potentially killed. So this would have been that spring time period that police keep bringing up, and it must have been early April, possibly late March. It looks like he performs at Coachella that April, so April 11th through the rest of the month, he's busy with Coachella. In late July, it looks like Celeste's body was left in the car. I believe we got that date as July 29th or so.
July 29th. And talk to me about what you saw. Is the last time it drove and ended up at the spot where it was abandoned likely with that body inside?
I'm certain they left town right after that. It was put there with her, in the front trunk. You can see the person and you can see what they're wearing something pretty distinctive. 12 hours earlier, a person at the house wearing the same thing.
Now, that July time frame could also be a time when Celeste had been unalived, but it seems police are confident with this spring date, which makes me question all of the different sightings that we've seen of her. Like the one that we saw, I believe it was in Maryland, when it looked like she was up on the stage corner, and people believed it was her, but it must not have been if she was dead back in April. So David starts performing a lot, which kind of makes me believe he's trying to set up an alibi as he places the body to be found. On September 7th, he promotes his new album that never came out, the Withered album, and it was on her 15th birthday. On the 8th, her body is found, again, after her 15th birthday, and it took about 11 days for all of David's shows to be canceled.
One of our sources claimed that the police investigation revealed around spring of 2025, David took a trip in the middle of the night to a remote area in Santa Barbara County, and he remained there for several hours. We have not double-sourced that information, and it's also unclear why a spring trip would be on the police's radar.
This person writes that she's been killed in spring and those morons couldn't come up with a better disposal plan for at least 2 months. It's good that they didn't, though. But he also asked, could one of his accomplices be a Spanish speaker? Could explain how they managed to text Celeste's family from her phone without them suspecting it was her. Which investigator Steve, the guy who was hired by the man who owns the home in the Hollywood Hills, he has alluded to the idea that there's a lot of people involved here, which if there was someone who was speaking Spanish and could, pretend to be Celeste, that would make sense as to how she's been gone for so long, but the family did not realize. I know that Celeste's family wasn't really taking care of her. She was here with David, but I do think they were keeping up with her and texting her and believing it was her. This person says that I suspect that someone was supposed to dispose of her body while he was on tour to give him more of a firm alibi. Somebody said that that couldn't have been the plan because of the farm tools that were left at the home, but I don't think David really had a plan here. This person says that there's no way his short ass could have done it alone, and what drove him to do this? I like this comment here. Sometimes the most simple answer is right. He probably didn't want to get exposed.
Controversial of kids.
Delete everything. Delete everything.
I mean, remember, we're talking about a guy here who just started off his career. He's got so many opportunities, and now he's got this relationship with a minor, and she's got a lot of power over him because if she wants to go and expose everything that she had gone through, he's done with. And I mean, it's not okay, but he probably, it's evil, but he probably thought oh, I'll just get rid of her so that nobody could find out because, accountability, he would never. Some people are shocked by the news that he's just now being named a suspect. 3 months later, mind you, he sings songs like, "In the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true."
I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died. And I didn't even cry, not a single tear. I killed you. So it's not like the thought of her is gone by itself was something that she did. It was something that I decided to do.
Found her body in his car months ago, and he's just now a person of interest. His vile ass should have been a suspect from the damn beginning. I hope he rots. Somebody used this meme of Adele, and they write, "The FBI looking for suspects when David is right there." This person writes that he groomed her when she was about 12, 13 years old. They lived together. He has songs about her and about unaliving his significant other. Police found her underage body in his car, and he's now considered a suspect suspect, justice for Celeste. The word dismembered was thrown around a lot in the beginning of this case when people were talking about it, and then there was discussion about her not being dismembered. Now we've got updates from police saying that they believe that he had help doing this.
Investigators were seen removing items from the Hollywood Hills home David was believed to be staying in.
It brings me back to some of his artwork where you see him in this video slicing a girl apart, specifically her arm. I mean, it's cartoon, but it's still kind of graphic in my opinion, especially when you see things like this. Okay, let's move on. Someone pointed out, I wonder if body parts are missing, like if her right arm could be missing. That would be even more disturbing because he would have been depicting that within his art. These images are from one of his music videos, which was posted on Celeste's birthday. I wanted to go and confirm which video this came from. It looks like it's from his song Rehab, which is from September 7th, 2023, which is again her birthday. Let's see what the comments look like. People are calling it out. Celeste's birthday, the same date the song was released. He's fighting his dark side, literally confessing to something he will do in the future. Somebody said, even if Celeste had not been killed, this is disgusting imagery to put into a music video. Because, yeah, if this was in 2023, she would not have been dead yet because think of it, they're saying in spring 2025. So what a coincidence. He made a video where you could see there's dismembering, specifically a hand, there's a stabbing in the stomach, and now we see this dismembering. I just wonder if there's any connection. Now, the biggest update I want to give you guys is that David is not currently cooperating. I know this probably doesn't come as a surprise. I don't think that he would be cooperating, but it's interesting because his PR reps said in the past that he was. So this article back in September said that David was fully cooperating with authorities. They said that he was aware of what had happened, he was briefed, and he was cooperating, and this was coming from, I guess, his PR agency. Of course, they're trying to make him look as good as possible despite all of the evidence, and this happened early on, September 10th, when we got this statement. We haven't really heard anything else from his team.
We still don't know how or when the teenager died. Sources are telling ABC News David is not cooperating with the investigation and has never cooperated despite what his PR reps have claimed.
But it's interesting to see that the authorities are calling him out for not cooperating because, one, it makes him look guilty, and two, it shows that they were lying in the beginning trying to create this narrative that he's innocent. But really, with farm tools, disposal items, late night trips to Santa Barbara, he doesn't look innocent. So investigators feel comfortable naming him a suspect because of the information they have, and it looks like they're also noting that the medical examiner office will determine the cause of death soon, and I think once they do that, they will pounce on him. Sources say that the conclusion on the autopsy report is coming soon, a step that will be critical in making an arrest and formally filing charges. Remember, they reported that her body had decayed down to 70 pounds and was found in his Tesla trunk. So I understand why it's probably difficult for them to figure this out, but at the same time, there's clearly it's homicide. It's not like she put herself there.
Said that Celeste's death likely occurred in the spring and that David likely had help in dismembering and disposing of her body. As you may remember, Celeste's remains were found in a bag, not fully intact, and shortly after, the private investigator found multiple items in David's home, heavy-duty tools and machinery that could have been used to do this.
What happens next? I mean, this person says that the fact that the LAPD has named him a suspect means they likely have damning evidence against him. They don't F around with publicly naming someone they might think could have done something. The LAPD has to present their evidence to the DA's office so prosecutors can decide if there's enough to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. They have to be careful about this. They've got one shot to get it right, because if they go in there and the evidence doesn't prove him guilty, then he could walk away.
It's interesting because we're more than a month after a 15-year-old girl was found dead in the trunk of that Tesla.
You know, I'm not surprised, but I think that the general public is probably like, what is going on here? Why aren't you moving forward? And to them, I would just say that it takes a lot to be able to get proof beyond a reasonable doubt for a conviction.
Those are the updates I have for you guys so far. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and hopefully my next video, I've been saying this for so long, but will finally be an arrest video. And then we'll take him to trial. I mean, I can't imagine him trying to fight this. It would be like a huge trial, like the OJ trial or something, but even worse, even more disturbing. So I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.